Let's talk about the furry comic Haus. In it, we follow Maggie, a college sophomore who is having the roughest of rough puppy lives you can imagine. She suffers from anxiety and depression, has to visit a therapist, has a toxic relationship with her mother, doesn't know what she wants to major in even though she's 2 years into college, has trouble connecting with people socially or romantically, doesn't have a driver's license, and on and on and on. Maggie is also demisexual, which means that she can only develop sexual attraction to someone after having formed a strong emotional bond to them. In her own words, it can take months for her to feel comfortable around someone, much less comfortable enough for, that. To the point that she violently shoves people away that try to move in on her in any sort of physical way. Speaking of physical, despite being college aged, I didn't even know Maggie was female until about 16 strips in when they put her in a halter top to go to a frat party. She lacks any and all physical feminine traits and sports a pretty flat chest. Even with the name like Maggie, I wasn't sure. I mean, call me a misogynist, but the other female characters in this comic sport things like eyeshadow, girly hair, jewelry, skirts, etc., etc. I mean, if I showed you this picture, would you say that this character was male or female? Looks pretty masculine to me, I'm just saying. That is a lot of baggage for a singular character, I gotta say. Maggie's negative traits, pessimistic outlook on life, and rapidly approaching failure to launch scenario with her parents is honestly pretty pathetic. I read through the entire comic multiple times looking for any positive traits that she might have. Does she have any hobbies? What does she like to do with her time? Does she do well in school despite having no declared major? Does she like any of her small group of friends romantically? I looked and I looked and I looked and I found nothing. Maggie has zero positive character traits to speak of. She's not creative, she doesn't play sports or video games, she's not into any physical activities, it's not clear whether she's even doing well in school or not. Maggie is an amalgamation of negativity and misery. This includes a non existent romantic life and the anxiety of the topic of growing up and moving out of mom and dad's house. You'll notice I haven't even said anything about the plot yet. Well, guess what? The comic doesn't have one. There's a few shorts that are multiple pages long, but those are only to hammer in very basic points like Maggie being violently demisexual or hating her mother for complaining about her not having a plan for the second half of her college career. I gotta say, Mags, if you're in college in a 4-year plan, you damn well better have a chosen career path by the time you get to the freaking halfway point. You can't just go to college just to go to college. That shit is expensive and it eats up years of your life. Not to mention a lot of mom and dad's money. Maggie's mother is angry and lashes out that she didn't put her life on hold for 18 years so Maggie could just end up as a lazy bum mooching off of her and her father. That's a very toxic way of putting it, wording wise, but her point does stand. Maggie can't or won't make any decisions about her future. She thinks that she's still a kid, and she's not. But this encounter with her mother makes Maggie break down out of sheer stress. You have to pick something, baby girl. If you want to be a carpenter or a chef or a manager at a pizza parlor, maybe college isn't for you. But if you're there already and 2 years in, maybe you should put your muzzle to the grindstone and figure out what you want to do with your life. And if the answer is sit around with your friends in your comfort zone smoking weed, then college still is not for you. Okay. Okay, let me take a step back here. What is this comic saying, and what is it for? It's obviously not here to tell a story, and it's not making me sympathize with this hilariously pathetic main character. What's actually going on here, if anything? Now, if I had to wager a guess, Doghouse almost seems like someone's art therapy project. Something bad happened to me, therefore I will draw it to get it out of my system. I've done this myself at one point. I suffered from World of Warcraft addiction back in the day, and I went to art therapy to wrestle myself and my life away from the game. I think this comic is someone's artistic stress outlet. Every situation, almost every single page, is like something out of a 16-year-old chick's diary that she hides under her bed. Yeah, dear diary, today was as black as my soul. Winter is coming, and that gives me seasonal depression. Mom was mean to me today because I'm halfway through college and haven't chosen a major yet. This cute girl hit on me at a party and I shoved her away because I don't get kissy with people like other people do. I just want to sit in my room and smoke with my friends and not think about the fact that I'm already legally an adult. Maggie is pathetic. This comic is pathetic. There is no positivity, no story to enjoy, and I am not sympathetic for someone that refuses to take their life into their own hands. This is just someone unloading all of their problems into comic book form and saying, "Woe is me," with no clear plan on how to make things better, how to get out of their rut, or how they're going to move forward with their life. Should you read Doghouse? Absolutely not. This comic is someone's stress relief. It's someone's therapy dog. It's someone's unsent letters where they pour all the vitriol out of their heart and then throw it in a desk drawer to stew with a stack of other letters full of hatred for decision-making and life. There is nothing to enjoy here, and frankly, unless there's a huge face turn where Maggie puts on her big girl panties and steps up to the plate of adult life, it's never going to be something to enjoy. I read comics to be entertained. This is just sad. See you later.